Here we've got the Collins Drive, which is part of the Broken Hills gold mining area. I'm hoping to climb up here without slipping down these rocks. And I've got pretty high hopes for this mine. Apparently, it goes for a long way. I can feel wind coming through, so that tells me that we've got something else, another entry down here somewhere. All right, so in we go. Looks like we've got rail ties down on the floor here, and the height of the mine is probably a little over 2 meters and a similar amount wide. So almost an elongated, so an oval shaped mine, let's call it that. So the rocks up here that they found the gold in was called banded rhyolite and also ignimbrite. It's another type of volcanic rock, and that was capped over with a lot of silica. There were a lot of like hot springs apparently around the area during the volcanic period, and they overlaid some of these rocks with silica. I've read that in one of the tributaries of the stream down below you can find fire opals. So that's definitely a kind of a silica material that opal's made of. I did think of going and having a look, but I'm sure you could look for weeks without finding anything. So it looks like we've got these floating lenses of quartz here. I don't know if you can see that too well, it's my inadequate lighting situation, but there's the white part up on the wall there that seems to be quartz inside this browner rock. So whether that's the ignimbrite, see that's even marked there, that there's that lens of quartz. It's pretty tricky, but yeah, it's probably the white parts you can see, and with the lighter tan rock is it's either quartz or it's got to be quartz. It must be, even though I know there are these silicified features. So we've come here to, well, looks like a stope maybe. Have a bit of a look around this area. Looks like it's all being blocked off with these massive planks. But it looks like also that there is a way through. Now, how much of a way through is there? Okay, so I'm going to have to probably stop here and crouch down and get around this area. So hold on a tick and I'll get around there. And I'm around the other side of this wooden barrier here. Wow, look at that rotten old bit of wood there. It's stoped way, way, way up. Go and have a walk around here and see what I can see. A lot of woodwork on the ground. Huge stoped area up above me. Massive. And I can see water on the ground up ahead of me here. And some collapse and old boards. I don't know how far this is going to go. Looks like I'm going to get my feet wet here. But we go down into the water, watching out all the time for, I don't want to slide off down a shaft somewhere. Okay, so quite muddy down here and a lot of woodwork on the ground. Bit of an iron spike that's gone up into the ceiling there, probably to hang ventilation or lighting off. It looks like it might come up out of the water here. in about 10 metres or so. Now, this part of the mine, I can't actually see any of the lenses of quartz that we were looking at when we were on the main part of the mine. We've got more woodwork coming up here on the ground. Some footprints. It could be, well, with the mines, footprints can last a long time. So, and looks like it's coming up to a bit of collapse here again. The mud on the ground is very rusty, so I imagine that there is bits of metalwork. Wow, look at those skulls, they're just huge. Rotting away. Have we got anything here? We've got a pink mark there that usually identifies. Aha, yeah, just up in the ceiling here we can see some banding of quartz in the ceiling, so that's what they would have been chasing. I know it doesn't come up very clear when I'm trying to actually look at something, and later on when I'm looking at the film, sometimes it looks clearer yet, even though I couldn't see it when I was in there. It's absolutely massive how they've stoked up in here. Huge. Way, way up in there. I don't know how much further I'm going to be able to go, to be honest, but we'll carry on a bit. See, these rocks have come down, they're absolutely massive. But it does carry on right the way through there. Yeah. Ooh, that mud is really thick underneath that sleeper there. Well, it's not a sleeper, it's a stull that's fallen down. Oh, it's pretty creepy walking around in here. Don't really like it at all. But it does extend down there. Don't trust any of this at all. And I mean, there's a sign at the start that says don't go off any side tracks in here, which is precisely what I've done. I only say at least I'm wearing a helmet. But, you know, if those rocks came down on my head, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing a helmet or not. You're gone. All right, I'm going to say that's as far as I'm going to go down this particular part. Am I? Maybe not. Maybe a little bit further. Yeah. Sometimes this is where I should have music while I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. Yeah, I think that's far enough down this particular side track. So what we've got through there is another big wooden stull. It's just a tree log, basically. So anyway, okay, maybe that's something for another day, but at the moment, let's let ourselves back out of here while we know what we're doing, sort of. But definitely this is possibly the biggest dugout area maybe that I've at least been able to get into. And we're quite far up the hill, and I could see, I think I could see where they attached cables for an aerial cableway taking the ore down to like closer to sea level, and where they could put it on a little tramway to get the ore to one of the 3 batteries that are in this area and be crushed. It must have been quite a hike for everyone to come up to work every day up here. unless there was a camp. It's possible they had a camp further up the hill, so maybe they didn't have to walk up every day. They certainly would have been fit if that's what they had to do. And no doubt they were fit. They had to be quite fit to want to come and dig all this out for a living. It's just so amazing, all that has been dug out. It must have been, oh, it would have been amazing to see in the old days, just how many people were down here, how much equipment, the noise, constant wondering whether everything was going to be okay or not. Tough life, exciting life. So I'll get back round this other barrier, and there's another one to get round, so I might meet you on the other side of that. Now I have to get round this other one over here. I'm hoping it's a bit easier than the last one. It was a full-on squeeze to get around. So we'll see if this one's any better. Still got my backpack on and made it through. Oh my goodness. And again, it's just this continuing massive stope. It's absolutely huge. I wish I could show the scale of it to you. It's awesome. Wow. It's got to be 60, 70 feet above my head. Stoped all the way up. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can't see anything that they were digging out, but it was what they were digging out was this whole seam that I'm walking in. All of this would have gone away to crush it. Oh, look. Yeah, we've got a deep pool down there, and that obviously it carried on further down there at one time, and they would have had to pump all the water out. Interesting stuff. Oh, look at that, just a mess. A huge, like, bracket fungus and various other mold, mildew growing on some of these old skulls. Looks like rail here. I thought it was bits of wood sticking up, but I'm pretty sure that's actually steel. So we've got rail in here. Oh, wow. Incredible. Incredible stuff. It's not really a traditional mine, what you might think of, because it's not really mine shaped. It's a big vein of quartz that they've just dug out and got the whole thing. A big rail right in front of me here. And again, it's hard to say how far I can get through here. It looks like it goes down into the water there again. What have we got up here? So, looks like there's been a little bit of a collapse. And we've got this old wooden stole, another one that I'm climbing over, and we go back down into the water here. So let's see what's down here. All right, splashing through this water. Lovely clear water. I don't know if it's drinkable, but I'm sure at least in an emergency situation it would be fine to drink if you didn't have anything else. So we're back into, as I was saying, we were in a stope before, but this is more the traditional mine shape. I can see that we've got 2 lines of rail There's the track down on the ground here. Oh, I thought it might have gone further, but it seems we've come to an end here. Oh, that's interesting. You see, that's quite green. Quite a lovely green there. I suspect that is possibly part of the vein that they were chasing. Some brecciation in the rock up here. So again, yeah, I can see quartz in there as well. Little clasts that have formed, different, almost like chert as well. It looks like some modern people have perhaps been in here and just dug out little pockets to see if they can get anything, or at least assay it and give you a bit of extra information. So, okay, well that looks like this is about as far as we can go, unfortunately. But definitely a interesting mine, worth coming up to. This was an underutilised area, meaning they think that there was still plenty of gold left when they stopped mining. It was just funding ran out. Gold goes up and down in prices, and it depends on what it's worth at the time, whether someone's going to fork out to spend money on mining it. But they do have further down the hill, apparently. I haven't actually seen it, but I've read that a mining company has taken an interest in this area, and it's either they're doing small-scale mining at the moment, or they're doing core drilling. And I have a feeling it's the same group that are trying to see whether it's worth opening the old or the new Talisman mine up Mount Karangahaki. So if any of you guys who are shareholders in the new Talisman mine are looking today, this is one of the other areas that's being looked at, I think. They've even used the same pink spray paint, so they're not wasting money on buying different spray paint for every mine they go down. Right, so we're nearly back at the barrier here. Just got to get around this part where I could potentially fall down into a shaft down there. I think it's just a continuation of the stope, not really a shaft. But either way, it's full of water. It must have taken some, I don't know, they must have had a vehicle of some sort, a 4x4, an ATV, at least, to bring all these planks up to block this off. So, let's see if I can get around here. Bit of a squeeze. Probably should have turned my camera off, maybe. Oh no, we're all good. Okay. And I think that's about where we're at with the Collins Drive. I think it could have gone further in the direction that I went down first. Yeah, just at this stage at least, not really game to get past all the collapse. It would be something that I need to have a bit of a think about and decide whether it was worth it. Even there's an entrance at the other side of this drive. So it's possible that I could walk up the track on the other side and be able to follow the mine in a certain distance, and it might almost all meet up with the area that I was in. Right, so we're just heading back out of this muddy area. Although it's muddy, the mud is not deep, which is good. So, yeah, I think that's probably about it for this mine. Just see some wetters down there, nice big ones. Yeah. All right, nearly out. A few more splashes through the water here, and we are done. Thanks for coming along with me today. So today we're at the Broken Hills Goldfield, and that was first prospected in 1893, and then in 1896 the Broken Hills Company, based in London, opened a mine here. And at one time the town of Puketoi, just down the hill, was the gold mining town, and that had 200 people living here in 1910. So anyway, they ran out of money, and there's maybe still gold up here, but we're going to go and have a look at a few of the places around here and see what we can find. These old water tunnels, are water race tunnels, are pretty interesting. They would have taken a lot of work. Very short. Quite a few wetters in there, just in a colony on the ceiling there. Probably can't see them. Got sweat dripping in my eyes from walking through the bush on a really hot day, hot muggy day, very cloudy, holding all the heat in. So this tunnel is probably about less than 5 feet tall. But I guess if it's just for water, it doesn't really matter. And we've got another little one here. Yeah, what have we got up on the roof here? Is it nests or something? I don't know. I think it's just clay flaking off the ceiling and a few wetters. It just looked a bit weird. But we are nearly through and out the other side. Now, I know this mine isn't very long. I suspect it was probably an explosive storage area, but I know it's full of wetters, and I thought maybe I should take you down here just to show you some of these wetters. And they're pretty cool. And it's absolutely packed with wetters up here. They're not the biggest. Oh, look at them all go. Jumping around. I don't really like the light. Absolutely packed with them down here. I wish the torch would show them up better. It's not really doing much. You can see them sort of in the half light moving better. They're all trying to get away. Oh, that's a big one there. Look at the size of that one. Wow, you're a biggie. Yeah, I just thought that would be fun to... Oh, one of them jumped on me. Okay, we'll leave them alone. And here we have the remains of the Golden Hills battery. So I would say that what we had was a stamp mill of stamp crushers up on these concrete pilings. There's some sort of tin shed over there. Now I thought this might have been the Broken Hills battery, but that's further down the road, and I know that had a 20 stamp battery. I don't think this one can have had a 20 stamp battery. It must have been a bit smaller. And I think this would have serviced the mines from the up the creek there where the body was, and that slightly larger mine down there. And perhaps there's some other ones up in the hills that I haven't seen yet. But it's a good start to the day, and we will keep walking around, probably to the Broken Hills battery next. Hey there, so I'm all helmeted up now, as you can see, and I'm about to go into this mine up behind me here. It should be a pretty long one. Apparently it went through about 500 meters, but we'll head in there now. And we've got another little mine here, not far from that Gem of the Creek mine. So I'll go and have a look in here. I'll take my new torch. I don't want to waste my big torch because I know there's a big mine coming up and I want it saved for that. So we'll go and see what's in here. Doesn't look like it goes very far. And oh my God, what have we got here? A skeleton. Some shoes down there. I think by the size of these bones, I would say it is one of those big boned people that I've always wondered about. And these bones are enormous, so whoever it was some kind of freak. The skull is severely misshapen. Can barely make out any features there, maybe some eye sockets and a mouth. I'm probably going to have to call the police after this to let them know that there is a body down this mine. It's full of wetters. Great big ones, some of them too. You can see them there on the roof, crawling around. Wow, you're some huge ones. Yep. You're about the biggest one I've ever seen. Well, at least since I've been in New Zealand, you're crazy big. But anyway, we'll leave this body down here and I will get onto the appropriate authorities to see what happens next. What we have here is what is known as the Gem of the Creek mine. Now this is up in the Broken Hills area, and we'll see what's down here. So right at the start I can see some lighter coloured rock. So that is likely to be the reason why they decided to dig in right at this particular spot. It was just that probably quartz, it may be some of that kaolite that was in the mines last week, which is not in an entirely different area to where we are today. And we have boards down on the floor here. I'm not sure who would have put those in. They do look quite old, but yeah, I think some of it's quite new. It's just part of the walk here. And we've got gravel on the floor as well that tells me maybe even dockers put it in here, which is a surprise that they'd leave a mine open at all. And so what seems to be happening here is there's these fault lines, as you can see down on the diagonal there, down the side of the wall, and they seem to be where the quartz has worked its way up as a liquid through the fissures in the rock. And then on the ground down here we've got some lumps of very white quartz, and I'm suspecting that is also kaolite, which it's just a different type of quartz, quite a soft white kind of quartz. And hopefully it doesn't come to an end down here, although the boards look like they're going around the corner, so that's good. And down right at the end here we seem to have a pocket that's been dug well out. Probably modern prospectors have got in there and had a go as well. But down in the crack there, just another one of these fissures in the rock. They've really gone quite hard in there and dug everything. Well, there's still plenty left there if you wanted to come and have a go at it, as illegal as it is to do that, but you might find some values in there, you never know. Now it turns a corner around here. So we continue down on the boards. This looks like it comes to a definite end up here. we've got more of these fissures in the rock where people over time have scratched away and taken all, look at that, that's been seriously dug out. You'd have to do that with like a hammer and chisel or something. It's, yeah, not something you'd do with huge machinery. So I wonder if that paid off for anybody. Maybe. And here we come right to the end of the mine. And right on the ceiling here we've got a little pocket there just above the beam of my light. It's like pyrite. So sometimes metals are associated with pyrite and sometimes it is just fool's gold. As the name implies, it has no values quite often, gold-wise. I think they did use it for something or other back in the old days, pyrite. I'm not exactly sure what. I mean, it is a nice gold coloration, interesting crystal structure. Who knows, could have been in paint or anything. Make a gold colour, although it probably oxidises as a not such a nice colour. Anyway, we're coming back down to the entrance here. Dug up into the ceiling a little bit there. Again, I can see I've gone into these fissures and taken stuff out from way quite deep in there, eh? I would say that's they've gone in 18 inches. Don't know why I start talking in imperial when I get down mines, but some of the shorter measurements or in-between measurements are easier to do in imperial than metric. For me anyway, even though New Zealand had changed over to metric before I was born. And we're coming here back to the entrance. See a little warning sign out front saying don't go in. So I'll put my gear back on and we'll head out to find another spot.